Hi, welcome to Antique Quest and another episode of Harris & Sons auction walkthrough videos. Today we're going to give you a walk around, show you what's coming up this Thursday, which is April 25th. The auction will be closing at 9 o'clock our time here in the Maritimes and 8 o'clock Ontario Eastern Time. That's when it starts to close. So we're going to show you a few things that we have, give you an idea of size, that sort of thing. And right off the bat, we have these 5 antique muskets. All of these can be bought by anyone. So all of these fall under antique status. You don't have to have any sort of license at all to buy any of these. So these are open to anyone to buy. And because of that, they don't need trigger locks and they don't need to be locked in a cabinet. Then if you wanted one to put above your fireplace or in your man cave or whatever it is you have, then these are all perfectly legal to hang there. So we have here at the first, we have a Swiss Vetterli rifle, and this is made before 1898 and it now is obsolete ammunition, which you can't get. So that's an early Swiss war rifle. Then we have this beautiful Tower musket, percussion cap musket, with its ramrod, full wood, really nice color, good one for display as well. And mind you, if you're a shooter, you know, these still have working actions. So all that is listed in the listings on the catalog online. And that's your Snider Enfield. And again, before 1898, obsolete caliber now with the 5.77 Snider. But all important firearms for you know, early wars and early settlements in this country. This one has the Department of Canada stamp on it that's been overstamped, as do a few of these, a couple of these anyway, I think. And this is the only flintlock we have, which is fantastic. I love the early flintlocks. Great piece for display. Excellent condition. These are in really nice shape. Good collector pieces, all brass hardware on this one. And again, a strong functioning action on that one. So if you did want to fire it, or if you're a reenactor or anything like that. But then we come to this one, which is quite a special gun. And this would have been originally a flintlock and it's been converted to percussion cap, which was common back then to make use of you know, all the rifles and firearms that they had. They just converted them over to the new system. But this one, what makes this really special is this is a Digby Militia musket. So you've got the Digby Militia number branded right into the stock here, and that is right as rain. Very rare to get them with the original militia markings on them. So those are the only 5 firearms that are in this antique sale, because they all fall under antique. But mind you, for all you guys that follow our firearms and sportsman auction, our next one is coming up right after this antique sale. We go right into our firearms auction, which has a ton of knives and swords and things of that nature, some really unique pieces. So anyway, let's take you and show you some of the antiques. Here we have a beautiful example of a Sibley chair, common to Nova Scotia here. Nice early chairs by the Sibleys. And this one's a great little early child's chair, but look at that nice early red paint that's still left on there. Some nice wear, great patina. Nice small little Mi'kmaq basket. Some just great work there on this one. It does have a little bit of damage, probably had a bow handle at one time, but just some beautiful weaving there. Nice early mortar and pestle. Again, really nice patina, good honest wear on that one. Nice, another Mi'kmaq basket with a really nicely carved handle, and that one's in excellent condition. And we have a nice early Inuit carving of a man. He would be pulling a rope. You could see would have been in his hand, and he has the early Eskimo art label on there and an early inscribed number. And this is just a beautifully carved piece of work here. Just a gorgeous carving, really well done. And it is signed Chubb. I don't know anything about that artist. You can look him up if you can have any luck doing that. But more or less a native war club, but what a fabulous, fabulous piece of work that is. And we'll move along. Every table with some really interesting items. So we have the Speed Graflex camera here. A great piece for display on a shelf in a library, anything like that. Just a really good looking early camera, 4x5. Piece of pre-Columbian pottery here. And I guess it's supposed to be an alligator. What you did there, I'm not sure if it was a vase or what. But some of the outer finish has been scaling off a bit. Almost looks like it was dug. Interesting piece. A great early folk art diorama. And this is the first American Coast Guard ship, the Bear. Beautifully done. Really neat. Very folky. A great ivory cribbage board here. And this is ivory, so of course, unfortunately, we can't sell that to anyone outside of Canada, or we can't ship it to anyone outside of Canada. It has to stay within the country. But some beautiful scrimshaw work on this one with the elk here and the dog sled team. And of course the figures carved there. And this is a beautiful Philippine barong. Now the scabbard here needs just a band around it, which they probably would have had originally. But this is a really well made blade, but very heavy. It's from the insurrection period. But the carving on the handle is fantastic. This is buffalo horn, and the carving is so detailed, this sort of a grotesque figure. Just a superb piece there. We have a Luftwaffe sword, and again, just excellent condition. Even the wrap on the handle is good. There's no maker marks anywhere on this one. It's sort of a high polish finish, most likely just a dress sword. And then we have this fraternal sword, and this is for the Knights Templar, this one. So it actually is the St. George Commandery. Really nice piece. Everything in good condition. Lots of great embossed images along the scabbard here. Great pieces for the collectors. We'll see what we... Oh, and we have a Royal Bayreuth. Beautiful Royal Bayreuth plate. With the cattle there in the field. And with the blue stamp on that one. And a nice little Lorenzen pottery piece. A little pine cone jug. Let's see what we have. And here we have a couple of Lunenburg Foundry pieces. The oxen team and a single oxen on its own. A little earlier piece there. That one cast in lead, very heavy. But a beautiful ship's hull. Just a fantastic surface on this. Nice early paint. Just a neat little display piece there. A hull. And we have this great folk art jigger doll. He has a beautiful face carved in here. He is missing one arm, but they did get played with quite a bit, so just a neat piece. And somebody's built this stand for him just to stand in. An old stand, but I would say the doll's a little older than the stand is. But a really neat folk art piece. And I'm just going to move you up here. And we'll see what we can see. We have a Steve teddy bear down in there. We have a alligator purse, a little geode, a Newfoundland powder horn. We've got some... Sorry, I'm trying to move it on the stand here. Some coins and some small banks. You can probably see those better online. Some knives, crooked knife. I have an old blue bottle and a lantern. And this is quite a nice little Bradley and Hubbard. A girl with an umbrella. And you can just see the B and the H on either side of the bolt that's attaching her there. But she's in great condition. Nice little Bradley and Hubbard piece. Oh, and quite a large sterling silver frame. Nice early one, full oak back on that one, and stand. Just a neat early piece there. All right, I'm gonna just stand in the picture here so it helps you with size. And we'll just point out a few of the things on this wall, and then we'll do the other walls. This is the early hand-colored photograph in our listing. This is a McBurney oil on panel, beautifully done work. And I'm going to make an assumption here that it's Gail Tuttle McBurney, who actually painted this smaller watercolor down here. Now that one does have a label, Gail Tuttle McBurney, and this one is just signed McBurney. And we do have another large one just signed McBurney. So I'm not sure whether she had a husband that painted as well, or if that's actually a work by her. Fabulous 1935 half-hull model, Jason Whitby. Really nice color on that one, just a nice display piece. An interesting early 3-candle wall sconce. Have a great ships painting here, early painting. You can see here at a line where it's really nice blue behind there of the sky, so you can really tell that this varnish has yellowed over time. So you could have that cleaned, and if you wanted to, and you could really brighten up the sky to a nice blue and white with white billowy sails if you want to have it redone, revarnished. This is George Weber, a good listed Canadian artist. Really neat little serograph. Indian encampment in Alberta. Beautiful early candle box here. Again, nice color, great grain on that one. We have a couple of McCaskills, colored photographs. We have here the early poster, playbill for Bringing Up Father. Believed to be the only one in existence. It only played in that theater, I believe, for one night only. So, very rare piece. Interesting little advertising mirror from Henderson and Hunt, from King Street in St. John, New Brunswick. I'm not sure if you can see anything else from there, but this is a nice master's certificate for a captain. It's double-sided, so it's glassed on both sides, so you can read both sides. And I'll swing the camera around and we'll have a look at this wall. Okay, I hope this works, and it's working out all right. There's a lot of noise with the trucks going by and the traffic, but hopefully this is all coming out all right for you. Nice pierced metal Mexican lamp with the sun face and the moon face. Just a nice size piece, and unfortunately I don't have it plugged in to show you what it looks like lit up. Nice little painting of Port George here in Nova Scotia by E.W. Barrett. We have a Zwicker, Margaret Zwicker, nice watercolor here. This one is signed, I can't quite make it out. The name is on the stretcher frame on the back, but whether it's his work or not, but look at that online, go and check out his work. It certainly looks like his type of painting that he did, and he's a well-known artist. Clooney Mahar we have here, nice little watercolor. Early map of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, good chunk of New Brunswick there, and it says Prince Edward Island, but I don't see it there. So, oh yes, there it is, of course. Alright, and Prince Edward Island, 1898. One of the Heike Wagners we have here, nice wood block by Earl Bailey. Thorenson painting here, nice early one, I would say late Victorian period, but just incredibly fine detail in that one, almost looks like a photograph. And then out of your view would be this illustrator art. Native Indian here with the peace pipe and then handing it off to this person. And they are signed, I'm sorry, it's just too fine, I can't make it out. And there's a small number 1 and a small number 2. So you know this was for an illustration board of one sort or another, but these are actual watercolors. Really nicely done. And we have a perpetual care grave marker. They used to put into the ground there, and some people are putting them into gardens and that sort of thing. Now I think what I'll do is I'll walk you around and just show you a few of the other pieces here. Now here we have a fabulous milking stool. I mean, the color and just the wood on this seat is fantastic. It's a really neat piece. And behind we have this good painting of a young boy playing hockey. The stain is the frame rather has got a lot of stains on it, so you'd want to get rid of all that. But this one has, again, Dresden Galleries, Gail Tuttle McBurney. So just a neat piece there called Last Call. I'm sure a lot of us can remember. Out on the neighbor's hockey rink, and you have to come in now. It's the end of the night or dinner time. And there's the sampler. Now I'm going to show you that in a minute in a better place. And here we have an old carved stirrup. I'm in the way of the light. Another Heike Wagner, some old tins that you can't see because of the lighting again. And a basket, some knives. And this is kind of a fun thing. This was found in Bernie Hale's old place. And it's just an old toy box in great shape. And it was just full of all these kids' old toys like yo-yos, ladders for trucks, and a little reflector for an old bicycle, a little knife over there, a little wooden boat, some little metal boats, London toys I think they might be, I'm not sure. Another yo-yo and a policeman's official badge. Look at this little tiny hanger. Crazy stuff in there. So we decided to just sell it as is. There's a soldier's lost a leg, corkscrew. It's just a fun thing to look through. Little toffee hammer and axe. And then, of course, this tray comes out. A little Valentine in there too. And this big plastic pocket knife with a blade on that thing. But it's all rubber. And some games, and this is fun. Little kids shaving kit. Look at that. Isn't that neat? My Mary shaving set, just like Dad's. Lots of fun stuff in here, though. Old paddles, planes, all sorts of neat stuff. All just one lot. The trunk itself is in fantastic shape. Nice smaller one, too. Okay, we got a bit more artwork over here I have to show you first. Really nice, large George Savage watercolor. Or Roger Savage. I keep wanting to say George for some reason. Lithograph. Another more of a modern artwork piece. Looks like R.A. Stevens again. And then we have the large Roger Savage, Gus. Really nice coloring in there, especially around his face. Reminds me of Franklin Carmichael sort of coloring. And we've got some good books here. Fabulous collection, library collection here. Early silver plate. This fantastic large Oxford English Dictionary set. American literature, English literature, modern English usage, book on American verse. But they're all in this fitted spot here, so they have a little raised up spot that this actually sits right in. Superb condition. And then we have all sorts of collections of early leather bound books. A lot of these are early 1800s. Some of these are a little later, and some of these Child's ones. Blackie the Crow, Lord Beaconsfield's works, New Review. Really neat things. I got some great bookends here to hold them all together. Little Henry figure that lifts up his lid for you. And as we travel over here, we have that beautiful, these are in behind glass. I'm not going to pull them all out, but Vandermark fan vase there. Beautiful little perfume. The Egg Decapitator. You don't see those very often. And we have a lot of the jewelry. Again, probably most of that's better to see online. There's the little Arlelique horse. And we go down to the next level, and we have this early Russian silver church censer. Some more jewelry, bags here. I'm going to pull those two books out for you in a minute. And more jewelry and another watercolor back there by John Watson. It doesn't have a frame, that's why we have it in the glass case here. And then a really neat Winston Churchill work, which comes with his book of his first edition of his speech. Over here we have another good collection of Heike Wagner paintings, all still working from that same lot we found. Some great images there, lots of fun. And this one, I believe, is again R.A. Stevens. Now that is the finished work, so that's actually a painting. And this are studies for the painting. So there it is, signed R.A. Stevens. That's a pencil drawing. And then when you come over here, if I can get rid of that light, you see the man, and that's a pencil drawing again. That one's not signed, but obviously is, because here's the fella in the painting next to that machinery. And we have a Charlie Corkum folk art man here. Really neat piece. And they even painted his fingernails pink. And a little Heike back there. Some really neat collection. That's a whole lot with torpedo bottles and marble bottles. Great doorbell piece, a whip, a knife, a collection of invoice clips. And we have a dinghy testing manometer. If your manometer dinghy needs testing, that's what that's for. Don't ask me much about it, but it does have to do with your dinghy in your boat. Folk art piece there, and a Topper drug products counter display, and a leg. All right. For you macabre type collectors, there's an old artificial leg for you. And down here we just have a collection of some of the other artwork that you see in the sale, and a child's shoe fly horse. Okay, we have two fantastic drop secretary desks here. This one here, the smaller one being the earlier of the two, definitely late 1700s on that one. And this flame mahogany one here, I would put that in sort of a mid 19th century, 1850, 1840 period, possibly a little earlier. So we're going to go in and have a closer look at them now. Now this one, because of its color and the grain, I actually had this down as a black walnut piece. There is a chance that this is just a well-colored old mahogany again. So I'm just going to pull these slides out so you can see the interior. Now both of these do have working locks, believe it or not, and keys. Okay, so there's the interior of that one. Just a beautifully inlaid, beautifully grained door. Nice little drawers there. A little bit of veneer off the bottom of that one top drawer. But all in all, really nice fitted interior. Let me open this up. And that reveals another drawer down here. Beautiful. Almost like a tiger maple look. But up here, you see that little trim piece? That's actually your secret drawer. So you'd be able to hide some coins, that sort of thing up in there. And hopefully the bad guys would just think it was some piece of trim. Needs a little TLC. It's just fallen down a little bit on that one, so I might give it away. But when you get in close to this one, there's some wonderful little detail. Let me see if I can pick it up over in this corner. Look at this little banding all along the edge there. That's all inlay work, and it runs right across the top here. Just really, really nice. And again, you've got this fine little inlay work, and you have the original hardware, which is always great to get. And this one sits on nice bracket feet somewhere down there. There they are. Now we'll move over to the flame mahogany one, which is considerably bigger. And same thing, pull out the slides. And again, working lock with a key. And this one's considerably bigger for if you want to work on it. It has this nice leatherette pad here in green. And I don't think any of those are fake drawers. We didn't find a secret drawer in this one, which is unusual, but just one large space there. Some nice long drawers. A few little blocks and pieces for the back and the feet. This particular one does have a bit of damage on the bottom. Now you don't see a lot of it because it looks fine from the front. So, but when you come around the side here, you'll see no light there. A little bit of damage to the bottom foot. It's nice and sturdy, but some of the outer piece has come off, and that may be what you just saw in that drawer. And again, on this side, let me see if I can tip this light upside down. I got some light on there. So you see what I mean? That corner just is missing a little bit. And this one doesn't have his back on, and you can see this one side sticks out a bit. So it's just warped out a bit. Over time, this wood panel's warped a bit, but it's all in all, it's still very, very nice early drop secretary desks. And we don't normally take that much furniture, as most of you know, because everything gets shipped online these days, and furniture just fills us in here too quickly, and we can't move it out of the way fast enough. But when we get exceptional pieces, we do bring them in. And we have a couple of Marini silk screens for you mid-century collectors. Just turn my light here. And again, another nice little silk screen here. You have to really get in close to see the detail. It just looks like a yellow square from over here. And come across here. And we have another Roger Savage painting called The Chair. It's a watercolor, and see if I can get rid of some of that glare. Nice size watercolor. And then we have a huge Roger Savage here. Has no glass on it. The glass was broken, but it is a watercolor. Signed again, front and back. And we have another little watercolor here, just marked what looks like RAS, which could be the same. RAS we see over here, R.A. Stevens it looks like. Again, another little early silkscreen print. Now before I take you over to the desk and show you the mods, the sampler, a few pieces of jewelry, and a few other the small things I want to show you a better view of, I have to show you this fantastic captain's chair. This came out of a schooner here in the Maritimes. A good early chair, beautifully made. The seat cushion is all the original leather, and it's really like a very dark green. It may look black on there, and you can see the venting in the bottom, but all this beautifully done, all the tacks in place, in excellent condition, interesting construction. I want to show you the paneled front you saw there. And again, this side, you have this paneling, it's all mahogany, but look at the curve on this back. This is fantastic. I'm going to turn this around. So it's a full wood back with the panel in the center, but look at that beautiful curve, and then again the panel on the bottom. Just a superb piece. And then what's interesting is this side, you have the cage work, so it's sort of vented. So you get airflow through here and up through that grid in the bottom as well. And you've got some early sort of a scaled finish here from this side, probably sat toward a window. Got the sunshine on it. But a very, very rare chair and just fantastic to find in this condition. But what a piece of work. It would suit just one of those beautiful old early wooden schooners. Okay, I hope this focuses because I'm in pretty tight quarters here. I just wanted to show you this because how often do you find books this early? This is 1677. So, I mean, look at the old paper. There's the title page. But just a fantastic book. Now somebody's come along, but look how clean that is for a 1677 book. It's in incredible condition, really. You've got some signatures here, 1735, 1686 down here. Somebody's put this cover on it over time, and this is probably their bookmark. And you know, the cover's taken a bit of damage, but what's great is it kept the book so nice and clean. Not even a lot of foxing going on in that one. And you can see part of the original cover there. Whether the original boards are underneath that or not, I can't say. Interesting, you see the binding rope through there. Now this one I wanted to show you just because, let me see if I can get you up above it a bit. There we go, that's better. This was found in a good library collection, but it's just got so much going on in it. Some beautiful work, and this is all drawn by pencil. So that's not an etching. Look at the handwriting. It's absolutely incredible. That is a pencil drawing, and that's a beautiful little watercolor. I should probably turn this around so you can see. But an incredible little watercolor, 1833. That one's dated, and again, and all this writing. Makes you wonder what it all tells about. Travels and this sort of thing, I would assume. But it's chock full, this book, with all sorts of things. And I couldn't photograph them all, so I thought I'd show you here. Again, these small little vignettes that are in here. Some poetry. Beautiful piece there. And again, another really fabulous little pencil drawing. Just kind of leaf through here. That is an engraving, that particular one. This looks like a watercolor of seashells, and it is brilliantly done. Spring, look at that, 1854. So a really neat piece. Look at that. Yeah, that's different. Some fantastic penmanship, some calligraphy. That one's dated 1840. And these aren't glued in here, so these are actually done. Again, there you go, pencil drawing. Fantastic artist. And I mean, that didn't even show you them all. There's still more in the back here. So, just a neat look into the personal life of somebody in the mid 1800s, mid to early 1800s. And let's assume that their name was that front page again. E. Strenger. So those are two things I wanted to just show you quick. And this is the Russian incense burner. And it would just hang like so, and they would swing it as they walked, and the incense would burn. But see if I can see around the camera here to show you where some of the markings are. Where are we? Let's see. Right up under here. There's some markings under there. There's some stampings here, and there's stampings inside the lid. So when not in use, the lid would just sit on like so. But this is a very early piece and just in superb condition. A few little dings along the silver on the bottom here, but considering the busy life it would have had, that's considered fantastic condition. Just set that aside, and let's show you this. I'm going to show you this diamond ring. Now, again, this camera unfortunately is not going to focus down enough, I wouldn't think, but it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous ring. Beautiful setting. The main diamond being approximately a 41 point diamond, but it's surrounded with two bands of other diamonds which also go halfway down around the band here. Just a gorgeous ring. Now this diamond set is a two-piece set with this little diamonds on this side. Again, this diamond's about 41 point diamond, but the clarity of this particular diamond, which again I wish I could show you because I don't think it's going to come out, is, I would go as far as to say this is the best quality diamond we've ever had through the sale. This is an absolutely gorgeous main diamond. Really, really high quality, and that set just goes together like so. Okay, so here we have the absolutely fantastic Masterwork sampler. This came to us by executors of a lady who had passed away, who lived in the Wentworth, Nova Scotia area. So unfortunately, the executors were not family members that could have given us any history on this. All I can tell you is the lady did spend time living in Toronto and Halifax, and when she did pass away, she was in Wentworth, Nova Scotia. And the name on the top, I'm just going to get this camera off here, is Charlotte Gray New, and is dated 1833. Now, the color in here is probably not doing it justice, but you can see the brown and then the lighter color on the edges there, and that is just discoloring of the silk possibly backing there, where the board is, where it's on a board. But I mean, look at this detail. Look at the sheep laying in the field, little dog here chasing the cow. Just some beautiful, beautiful detail. I hope the camera will focus through this. And there's the garden path leading to the house, and quite a nice manor house by the looks of it. But the work in the trees, just really, really neat. And this whole floral circle here around the name and date, and a basket below that they're all coming out of. Now the frame is gilt gesso, you know, and it does have some issues in the corners there on the flowers, but all in all, good clean frame. We'll try and turn it around and see if we can show you anything on the back. I don't think there's anything on the back though. It's just yeah, fairly well newer frame there. So just an incredible work of folk art here. We had two wonderful samplers we sold probably 10 years ago now that were in, they were book pieces out of a Nova Scotia folk art book. And next to that, this is by far the best I've ever seen. And I would say that this is even a nicer sampler than those two were. That's in our sale, ending this Thursday, and now I'll show you the mods. And here's our first mod, Lewis, and this is a fantastic piece. And the thing I think you'll notice right off the bat is how beautifully colored this one is. Now these two both came out of the same estate that we sold, again, probably 10 years ago. They were both verified at that time by Alan Deacon, who is the foremost expert on Maud Lewis paintings. And we can tell you these are right as rain, guaranteed Maud Lewis originals. And this one, like I say, I've sold this image probably 4 or 5 different times, and this is probably the cleanest and brightest and nicest of the bunch. This is a little bit larger than the one you're going to see in a minute, But the only issue with this is you see this white right there with a little dot. That's a little drip of white paint. But what we don't know is, was it done in the owner's house later, or was it done in Maud Lewis's moving paintings around and painting and things like that? So it's there, it's been there forever. It almost looks just like snow on the side of the house there, so it doesn't really bother me in any way whatsoever. Of course, signed here lower right, and this is when she was using the good paint for the red, not the later when she started to make them with the marker where it would fade away. So this is a good early one. And you can see on the back that it's all the original Green Beaver board, which is what you want to see on mods from that period. So that's the one. Great motion to the horse. Got another sleigh here, another sleigh here. Sometimes one was omitted in some of the other paintings. But yeah, a really great work by Maud, guaranteed original, and a great investment piece. Maud's not going down. And we'll show you the next one. That being a well-known scene that Maud loved to paint, but this had to be one of her favorites, and that was the oxen in the tulips. Again, came from the same estate where they'd bought it originally from Maud herself. So these haven't passed through a lot of different hands. But again, just a classic image, one that Maud loved to paint. Signed lower right here. Slightly smaller than the last one, but not a bad size at all. And again, this is the Green Beaver board, and it's sort of fading to a brown as you get up here, but you can see the original color of the board down there. There's something pencil written there, but it's so faint I can't make it out. But the frames were made newer because these were both received without frames originally. So when we sold them 10 years ago, there was no frames on them at all. So the buyer had these made up just so he could hang them on the wall. So there you go. That's the Maud Lewis's. So folks, thanks for watching. I hope that helps you out with some of your decisions in bidding or not bidding on certain items. And remember, this auction closes this Thursday night. That would be April 25th. And right after that, we'll have our Sportsman auction coming up. So I thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. All the best. Thanks. Bye-bye.